Finally, in today's RalpStack. Every late summer, when players start trickling back into town and reassembling as groups to try it again, there's always optimism. For most organizations and fan bases, the good feels come from the usual blind or informed optimism, while taking in the sights and sound of the guys in practice gear, darting and circling, shooting and passing and laughing and joking on the ice. The long summer is ending, last season is well in the rearview mirror, and we can all start talking about how good we feel about our team. The good feels also come from forgetting your shortcomings and living in denial. We all do this to some extent with our favorite teams. When training camp starts, everyone's a contender. That's what they say. The only thing is, it's not true for the majority of teams entering the season. The bitter truth, there's only a handful of teams that will seriously contend. And the harder pill to swallow, right now it appears, there's only one team in the NHL that has it figured out. The Florida Panthers get playoff hockey. It's different. They're different. They can go 4 rounds. They get better round by round. They managed their way through the regular season but didn't turn any heads. No matter. The Florida Panthers are different, and so are the Stanley Cup playoffs. Florida GM Bill Zito is also different. Zito makes very hard and unpopular decisions, including trading sacred cows and not hiring the wrong coach. His coach now keeps his pedal on the gas. That coach pushes him hard and then harder. His players don't run to Zito when they think the world is unfair. 32 teams start each season. 16 don't make it past the regular season. Another 8 fall 2 weeks later. That means for 24 teams and fan bases who started the season hoping for a big year, it's over without a playoff series win. 75% of the league never gets out of the first round. We don't think about that when we watch the players in August and September trickling back in, do we? We're stuck in a bubble of our own creation, an echo chamber comprised of fellow fans who think the same way we do, and local media and fan bloggers who reinforce our worldview regardless of any and all evidence that pops up to the contrary. Seth Jones, a very good player who was stuck in horrible circumstances with the continuing shit show that is the Chicago Blackhawks, and who was liberated on trade deadline day and moved to Florida, said the other night on the ice after lifting the Stanley Cup, all these guys care about is winning a cup. That's it. Lots of teams say that. Most teams are full of shit. Lots of things go into winning a cup, but chief among them, still and always, is elite play in net. That's the job. It was the job when Ed Belfour won 7 straight playoff series from 1999 to 2000. And it's the job for Panthers netminder Sergei Bobrovsky, who just won his 8th straight playoff series, and now 11 of the last 12 he's played in. That's a huge number. I find the timing curious, but also telling, that in the middle of Florida goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky's 28-save effort in a 5-1 Florida win in Game 6, on his way to lifting the cup for the 2nd straight season, the Dallas Stars, the media, and the bloggers were all gushing over photos and news of Stars goaltender Jake Ottinger and his wife's pregnancy announcement. Hey, it's great that they're having a baby. Listen, honest to God. But you know what I'm more interested in that night? First of all, the Florida Panthers. And then the fact that Jake Ottinger has never won more than 2 series in a row, and what responsibility he bears in that. I saw nothing from anyone, from any local Dallas media watching the game about the Stars maybe don't have the goalie the Panthers do. There's plenty of objective data to make that point. But Dallas media is really reluctant to go there with him. Here's more. It's totally fair to look at Pete DeBoer's body of work with Dallas and this past spring and criticize him for not adjusting series by series. He didn't adjust well at all during the Edmonton series. It's also fair, and he's earned criticism regarding asset deployment and game strategy. Pete DeBoer's a stubborn guy, and he's been there quite a while, and he didn't get it done. All that's fair game. These all add up for grounds for dismissal. But Dallas media, largely ignoring much of that, kept pushing the Pete was mean to Jake. Pete threw Jake under the bus. Pete didn't even call Jake right away. Come on. The Stars are hardly alone in their failures to be a team that can win it all. And more to the point, the Stars are not the only team who struggle with making really tough decisions. It's hard to win. It's damn near impossible. And it's super hard to do really hard things. It seems that only the Florida Panthers truly get it. 3 state Stanley Cup finals, and now back-to-back championships. They've added, subtracted, and adjusted year by year, and then series by series. They have real leadership there. Stars media keeps telling me how good Jamie Benn is in the room, despite the fact that the Stars can't get out of the conference final. It's not bad. It's just not enough. Jim Nill didn't blink when asked if Ben will return. Listening to Jim, he has no interest in a dispassionate and critical review when it comes to Jamie Benn. You know who I think's good in the room? Alexander Barkov, the Florida captain. He's good in the room. Know how I know? His team wins. Cups. 2 in a row now. And I have yet to see him take the most selfish of penalties in a conference final by cross-checking an opponent's captain in the back of the head and effectively ending his team's title hopes. No, Barkov is the real deal. He made sure that the guys who never won the cup, even practice players, got to skate the cup before the veterans did. Barkov, who turns 30 in the fall, also clipped along at a point per game in the playoffs. 6 goals, 16 assists, 22 points, and a +4 in 23 games. The Panthers captain averaged over 20 minutes a game and took 2 minor penalties in the playoffs. Total, 2. Jamie Benn's line, 1 goal, 2 assists, -11 in 18 playoff games. He averaged about 13 minutes a game and took 26 minutes in total penalties. He took a wild swing at Mark Scheifele in the Winnipeg series, was probably the only thing anyone remembers about the Dallas captain this spring. His team imploded in the conference final, and the players and the coach were not connected at all. And even after all that, the GM for sure wants to keep him. And we read from all corners of Dallas fan bloggers that Jamie Benn is the bestest in the room and there isn't anybody else, and don't everybody tell me anything different. This is what happens in the bubble, in the echo chamber. Nobody is questioning any of the narrative. Jake Ottinger has also charmed the media. I got lots of responses to my post about Bobrovsky's dominance during Game 6, criticizing me for not understanding that not all of this is Jake's fault, that his defense let him down, his coach let him down. They didn't score enough for him. More than one went as far to say that if Jake Ottinger played in Florida, he'd have 2 cups by now. They come by it honestly, these fans. They've been reading pro Jake Ottinger stories no matter how he plays. I didn't even use Jake's name in the post. You know who didn't charm the media? Ed Belfour. The media was afraid to talk to him. Seriously. Like, there were times I was scared to even approach him. Nobody wrote feel-good pieces about Ed Belfour. None of us really cared about any of that. The guy was dialed in. He was nails, and he wasn't right. To me, and no disrespect to Joe Nieuwendyk, who was awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy that spring as playoff MVP for his remarkable work that year. But the media who votes on the award wasn't going to give it to Ed Belfour. He didn't care about them, so they didn't care about him. Ed Belfour charmed no reporter in the room, and we all got rings. What Dallas has done is nothing to sneeze at here. 3 straight trips to the Western Conference Final. That's big stuff. But is that the ceiling with this group? And will Jim Nill make some really, really tough calls to change the trajectory? I'll leave you this while you're pondering. Jonathan Huberdeau, Florida's 3rd overall pick, won the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year in 2012-13 season. He had 6 20-goal campaigns with the Panthers, stuck 30 twice, including in his final season with Florida, where he added 85 assists for a remarkable 115 points. He was plus 35 that year, was an alternate captain, and a big part of the team's internal leadership group. Bill Zito traded him that spring, along with 2 other players and a first-round pick for Matthew Tkachuk. That same summer, Zito also had the chance to keep his interim coach, Andrew Brunette, and save himself a few bucks. But he cut him loose and hired Paul Maurice. Friends, the hardest thing, is almost always the right thing to do. That's our show for this week. Next week, we're doing a greatest hits of our first dozen shows, including some bloopers. Yikes. Thanks to Savannah Hugh-Muller and Edward Egros for their contributions today. Thanks to my wonderful assistant, Kelly Ortiz. Thanks to Craig Button for frequently validating my opinions, as he just did with this very Substack piece. Now, some images from the 99 Cup Parade and celebration to take you out. We'll be back next week with the big highlight show. Then the following week when I'll take the drive down to LA for the NHL draft. I've never been to an NHL draft. Until then, and for now, I'm Ralph Strangis. And we'll see you soon on the next RalphCast podcast, the TV show right here.